It's Gabriel. Sterling, good to see you all again. Happy New Year. And I'm going to go through all this anti-disinformation Monday, continuing statements from the president and some of his supporters. State Farm. All right, this has been one that's been conflated over several different things. We have multiple scanned ballots. We have Ruby Freeman. We have the leak that it says a water main break, which wasn't a water main break. Then at about 8:23, you see a woman bring in the table in question that has been the point of Mr. Giuliani's 90-second clip. She's pulling it with one hand, and she sets it down. There's nothing underneath it, okay? And I will admit, when I listened to the audio of the phone call and the president brought that up again, and I heard it on a radio ad again today, I wanted to scream. Well, I did scream at the computer, and I screamed in my car at the radio talking about this because this has been thoroughly debunked. They bring out the normal absentee ballot carriers. There is videotape of this, and this is what's really frustrating. The president's legal team had the entire tape. They watched the entire tape, and then, from our point of view, intentionally misled the state Senate, voters, and the people of the United States about this. It was intentional, it was obvious, and anybody watching this knows that. Anyone watching it knows that. That's why we released the entire tape for people to watch. Then the other claim comes from about a woman named Ruby Freeman and multiple scanning. One of the things you need to understand is a normal ballot processing, if there is a problem with a ballot, what it does is it stops. But before that, 4 or 5 will get through. So they say delete that last batch and rescan it so they scan properly. That is the normal process that is done. Secondarily to that, everybody might be familiar with the fact that the president wanted us to do a hand recount, a hand retally, which we ended up doing under our audit. That audit showed that there was no problem with machine scanning. If somebody took a stack of ballots and scanned them multiple times, you would have a lot of votes with no corresponding ballots, which shows that the machine scanned properly. Our counties did a great job of following these batches and doing the hand count properly. Let's see. Let's go over the numbers of the president's team is claiming. We have a little chart over here. They're claiming there were 2,056 felons that voted. We know exactly how many people voted for this. We have an outward bound of 74 potential people who were felons voted. So let's be clear about that. Then there is the claim that 66,248 people below the age of 18 voted. The actual number is 0. Next one is 4,926 voted past the legal registration deadline. Again, it's 0. We have 0 record of anybody doing that because the voter registration cutoff is a voter registration cutoff. So there's no corresponding way to do that. They couldn't be issued a ballot because they are not legally within the system of that to have ballots issued. 10,315 who died before the election. Again, our information from the Department of Vital Records, we go through county by county, shows potentially 2. So far, 2. It could change, it could go, but it's not 10,000. We've seen nothing in our investigations of any of these data claims that shows there's nearly enough ballots to change the outcome. And the Secretary and I at this podium have said since November 3rd, there is illegal voting in every single election in the history of mankind because there are human beings involved in the process. It's going to happen. It's a question of limiting it and putting as many safeguards as you can in place to make sure it doesn't happen. All right. Oh, yeah. We had part of the hand tally be discussed in relation to the potential double scanning. Let's just go to the other ridiculous claims that Dominion voting machines are somehow using fractional voting or flipping votes. Again, by doing the hand tally, it shows none of that is true. And of the 15,118 absentee ballot envelopes that they investigated, they found 2 with potential problems. Let's go into some of the more new things. There is no shredding of ballots going on. That's not real. It's not happening. There's shredding of envelopes that were the non-used ones, or there's also shredding of the secrecy envelopes that came through. We saw some of those in the Senate hearing, and it's obvious that they're the secrecy envelopes, which have no evidentiary value because there's no signature on it. There's no way to match it back. They're just basically trash. No one is changing parts or pieces out of Dominion voting machines. That's not a real. I don't even know what that means. It's not a real thing. That's not happening. The president mentioned on the call yesterday or from 2 days ago. That's, again, not real. I don't even know how exactly to explain that. Let's see. Secretary Raffensperger does not have a brother named Ron Raffensperger. That is also not real. The president tweeted that out as well. Was a potential hacking of Dominion equipment during a Senate hearing last week. That did not happen either. Let's go over a couple of reasons why. First of all, ballot marking devices and scanners, neither one have modems. It's very hard to hack things without. And signed affidavits are part of an evidentiary trail, but they have to be investigated. And let's remember, everybody who came and gave testimony, it was public comment, at the state Senate hearing. This office was never asked to come and discuss those items with that state Senate subcommittee. That didn't happen either, which I find interesting because obviously they're making wild claims that, again, undermine people's faith in the system. I don't know who's trying to fraudulently find the votes, but the thing is we have certified this election, so there are no more votes to find. We will continue investigations, so he has an election challenge. And one of the things that they were discussing on that phone call was they have sued the state of Georgia and the Secretary of State. There are rules of evidence to follow once you do that. Trying to go outside of that is an issue. And we've said, I believe we sent our lawyers and sent their lawyers a letter saying, if you want to dismiss your challenge, we're more than happy to share this data with you to show that your data is incorrect and you have in fact lost the state of Georgia. What's the number of threats? What?
The Bureau of Investigation says that there's an unprecedented number of threats that have come in statewide regarding the election. We're not sure the nature of those threats. Are you aware of what type of threats you guys may get?
We are aware of some, but we're trying to not discuss in too much detail about that while I try to investigate and find out what the actual nature of those threats may be.